Hello and welcome back to English on Point, the podcast that makes learning English an absolute joy.
You're in a team meeting. Your colleague presents an idea you strongly disagree with. You know you should speak up, but you freeze. Do you stay quiet and seem passive? Do you interrupt aggressively and risk sounding rude? Or do you say something clear, calm, and confident without apology or aggression? That's the power of being assertive. And today, you're going to master not just the word, but the mindset, the phrasing, and the subtle tone shifts that make native speakers sound polished, professional, and in control, even when they're pushing back. This isn't about memorizing phrases. It's about rewiring how you express your opinions in English so you sound like someone worth listening to, not someone who's apologizing for existing. By the end of this episode, you'll understand the precise meaning of assertive and how it differs from aggressive or confident. Learn 4 natural workplace-ready phrases to disagree respectfully. Discover synonyms like forthright, direct, and candid, and when to use each, because they're not interchangeable. Practice 3 full dialogues with realistic pacing and intonation. Explore how cultural context changes what assertive sounds like in the US, UK, and global remote teams. Learn 2 more high-value words, diplomatic and tactful, and how they complement assertiveness. Get a structured 5-minute daily speaking drill you can do alone. No fluff, no oversimplification, just nuanced adult-level English you can use tomorrow in your job, your meetings, or even your personal relationships. Let's begin. First, let's clear up a myth. Being assertive is not about being loud, blunt, or forceful, and it's definitely not about winning an argument. At its core, assertiveness is the ability to express your thoughts, needs, or boundaries clearly, while still respecting the other person. Think of it as clarity with kindness, not I'm right, you're wrong, but here's how I see it. What do you think? Now, contrast that with passive. You stay silent to avoid conflict. Like, sure, whatever you say. You lose respect and your own voice. Aggressive. You dominate the conversation. Like, that idea is terrible. You win the point, but damage the relationship. Assertive. You state your view calmly and invite dialogue. Like, I see it differently. Can I share my perspective? You maintain respect and integrity. This is why assertive is one of the most valuable but underused words in professional English. And here's the kicker. Your tone matters more than your words. You can say, I disagree in a way that shuts people down, or in a way that opens the door to collaboration. Native speakers don't just say assertive all the time. We choose words based on context, relationship, and desired tone. Here are 3 close synonyms and when to use each. Forthright, meaning direct and honest, often without hesitation, even about uncomfortable topics. Nuance, slightly formal, implies courage or moral clarity. When to use it. When praising someone's honesty or describing a bold but respectful stance. Example, she was forthright about the project's risks, no sugarcoating. Don't use it for everyday disagreements, too strong for casual settings. Direct, meaning clear and to the point without extra words or softening. Nuance, neutral, can be positive or negative depending on tone. When to use it. In fast-paced work environments where clarity greater than politeness. Example, he's very direct in emails, get straight to the ask. Caution, in cultures that value indirectness, like the UK, Japan, direct can sound rude if overused. Candid, meaning open and sincere, often revealing personal or private thoughts. Nuance, warm, trusting, slightly vulnerable. When to use it. In one-on-one conversations, feedback sessions, or when building rapport. Example, thanks for being so candid about your concerns. Key difference. Candid implies emotional honesty. Assertive implies boundary setting. So which should you use? In a team meeting, pushing back on a plan? Assertive. Describing a CEO's honest shareholder letter? Forthright. Giving feedback to a close colleague? Candid. Sending a quick Slack message to clarify a deadline? Direct. Mastering these distinctions makes your English sound native level nuanced, not textbook generic. Now, let's add 2 more essential words that often work alongside assertiveness, especially in sensitive situations. Diplomatic, meaning skilled at handling delicate situations without causing offense, often involves choosing words carefully to preserve harmony. When to use it: in cross-cultural teams, client communications, or when delivering bad news. Example: she gave a diplomatic response to the investor's criticism, acknowledged the concern without agreeing. Key insight: being diplomatic doesn't mean avoiding truth. It means packaging truth thoughtfully. Tactful, meaning having or showing tact, sensitivity in dealing with others or with difficult issues. Nuance, more personal than diplomatic, often used in interpersonal contexts. Example: he was tactful when pointing out the typo in her presentation, waited until they were alone. Don't confuse. Tactful equals considerate timing and phrasing. Diplomatic equals strategic communication in high-stakes settings. How they work with assertiveness? You can be assertive and diplomatic. Example: I understand the timeline is tight, but I need to be assertive about the risks of skipping QA. This combo is gold in global workplaces. Now let's get practical. Here are 4 go-to phrases native professionals use daily to disagree, set boundaries, or redirect, all while sounding collaborative, not combative. Phrase 1: I see it a bit differently. Why it works? Softens disagreement with a bit and uses see, subjective, instead of you're wrong, objective. Follow-up: always add your view immediately. Example: I see it a bit differently. I think launching in Q3 gives us more runway to test. Phrase 2: that's a fair point, and I'd add why it works. Validates first with fair point, then pivots with I'd add. Shows you're listening and contributing. Pro tip: use I'd add instead of but. But cancels what came before. Example: that's a fair point about budget, and I'd add that user retention could offset the cost long term. Phrase 3: I'm not entirely convinced. Can we look at the data together? Why it works. Not entirely convinced is humble. Asking for data depersonalizes the conflict. Use when challenging assumptions without attacking the person. Avoid I don't believe you, sounds accusatory. Phrase 4: I'd prefer to, or I'd feel more comfortable if we. Why it works. Centers your need, I, without blaming you. Perfect for setting boundaries on workload, communication style, or timelines. Example: I'd prefer to finalize the scope before we assign tasks. Or I'd feel more comfortable if we kept client feedback separate from internal notes. Key pattern: all of these start with I, not you. That tiny shift turns confrontation into collaboration. Now, let's hear how this sounds in real conversations. Below is a natural professional dialogue between 2 colleagues, Maya and Jordan, discussing a tight deadline. All speak clearly with natural pacing, pauses, and intonation, ideal for shadowing practice. After each line, pause and repeat it out loud. Focus on tone, calm, clear, not apologetic. Jordan: so we're all set to deliver the prototype by Friday, right? Maya: actually, I'm a bit concerned about that timeline. Jordan: oh, what's the issue? Maya: I see it a bit differently. With QA testing and client feedback, Friday feels rushed. We did promise the client, though. That's a fair point. And I'd add that if we rush, we risk bugs, and that hurts trust more than a 1 week delay. True. I'm not entirely convinced Friday is realistic. Can we look at the testing schedule together? Yeah, let's do that. Great. I'd feel more comfortable if we proposed Friday next week, just to be safe. Okay, I can run that by the client. Notice how Maya never says no outright, uses I statements, offers solutions, not just problems, stays calm even when pushing back. That's assertiveness in action. Now let's raise the stakes. You're on a call with a client who's asking for a major scoop change, last minute. You need to say no without losing the account. Watch how diplomacy plus assertiveness work together. We'd love to add user login functionality before launch. It's critical for our marketing. I completely understand why that's important for your campaign. Exactly. Can you make it happen? That's a fair request. And I'd be transparent. Adding it now would delay the entire launch by 2 weeks. Oh, really? Yes. To be forthright, our team is already at capacity. But here's what I can do. We launch on time with core features and roll out login in a phase 2, just 2 weeks later. That could work. Great. I'll sync a revised timeline by EOD. See how you validated first with I understand, were forthright about constraints, offered a diplomatic alternative, stayed assertive about what's possible. This is advanced communication. Finally, a sensitive one, giving feedback to a colleague whose presentation was disorganized. Hey, got a sec? Sure. I really appreciated how much research you put into the market section. Thanks. And I wanted to share something tactfully, if that's okay. Of course. I found the flow a bit hard to follow. Maybe grouping the data by region first would help? Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Just a thought. You've got great content, just needs a clearer structure. Notice the tact. Started with genuine praise, asked permission, if that's okay. Used I found, not you were confusing. Ended with encouragement. This builds trust, not defensiveness. Here's something most courses skip. Assertiveness isn't universal. In the US, directness is often valued. I disagree is fine if said calmly. In the UK, understatement rules. I'm not sure that's the best approach means strong disagreement. In Japanese or Korean, harmony greater than individual opinion. You might say, that's interesting. Have we considered to gently redirect? In Germany or Netherlands, bluntness is respected. That won't work is acceptable if backed by logic. Your move? Adapt your phrasing to your audience, but never sacrifice clarity. You can be culturally aware and assertive. Even advanced learners slip up here. Watch out for these traps. Mistake 1, over apologizing. Sorry to bother you, but I think maybe we should instead say, I'd like to suggest we consider why. Apologizing before speaking undermines your authority. You're not bothering anyone by contributing. Mistake 2, using weak modifiers. This might be a stupid idea, but instead say, here's an idea. What do you think? Why? Might just a bit, when overused, make you sound unsure. Use them sparingly from nuance, not as crutches. Mistake 3, confusing assertive with aggressive tone. Aggressive, we can't possibly meet that deadline. Final, closed. Assertive, I don't think we can meet that deadline. Can we explore alternatives? Open, collaborative. Fix, record yourself. If your voice goes low and flat, you sound aggressive. If it's high and fast, you sound nervous. Aim for steady, mid-range pitch with clear pauses.
Here's how to build this skill fast without a conversation partner. Minute 1. Pick a real or imagined situation where you need to speak up, like, my manager assigned me extra work on Friday. Minute 2. Write 2 to 3 assertive sentences using I language. Example: I'd prefer to focus on the current deadline. Can we discuss priorities? Minute 3. Say it out loud, standing up, like you're in a meeting. Record it. Minute 4. Listen. Ask, did I sound calm? Did I offer a solution or just complain? Did I use I, not you? Minute 5. Refine and repeat. Try a more diplomatic version, then a more direct one. Feel the difference. Do this daily for a week. You'll internalize the patterns. Let's be honest. This isn't just about language. It's about presence. It's about showing up in rooms, virtual or real, and knowing your voice matters. When you speak assertively in English, you're not just using better words. You're claiming your space. You're saying, I belong here. My ideas are worth hearing. And that confidence, it's contagious. People lean in, they listen, they trust you. So the next time you're in a meeting, a negotiation, or even a casual debate, don't shrink, don't attack, assert. Say what you mean what you say, and leave room for others to do the same. That's the mark of a true communicator. Thanks for listening to English on Point podcast. If this resonated, subscribe for more nuanced real-world English. No beginner fluff, just skills that move the needle. Drop a comment with a situation where you wish you'd been more assertive. I'll help you rephrase it. Until next time, speak clearly, stand tall, and never apologize for your ideas. You've earned your seat at the table.